to ask you this question since 1994 when I first saw Forrest Gump. The scene when you shake President Kennedy's hand, how did they film? I know it's not real, obviously, but how did Zemeckis pull that off? How did you do that on set?
That was actually a very primitive, early, almost like garage slapped together version of what now has become, CGI. De rigueur. We had a very primitive set that didn't look like the White House at all, and there was a wire with 2 pieces of tape on it. One piece of tape was going to be John F. Kennedy's eyes, and the other piece of tape was John F. Kennedy's hands. And they put it on a loop, and all I did was move again and again. Look, 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 shake, shake, shake. Look, 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 shake, shake, shake. Look, 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 shake, shake, shake. And it probably only took about 40 minutes to get, but it was kind of like, putting something together in the rec room and taping it with your home video system. Wow. And it turned out in order to be that, a moment like that.
I have to tell you, by the way, I've been collecting movie ticket stubs since I was 11 years old. I have my original Saving Private Ryan stub.
Oh, my Lord. Will you look at that? Wait, let me get my glasses so I can see where you saw it.
I'm going to check it out.
Oh, whoops, sorry. What's the name of the theater?
It was Regal in Kiln Creek.
My Lord. Evening show? How about that? Bravo. You keep theater tickets.
Every one of them. I have Apollo 13 and everything.
Get out.
Let me ask you about this honor. Obviously, you've had so many amazing highlights in your career with winning Academy Awards. How does this rank with winning an Academy Award and that amazing moment for you?
Those moments, when you're involved in that, those are like sweepstakes. Let's say in a year goes by and you sort of like make the playoffs and you keep going. They keep inviting you to things, and between December and March, you're always putting on a tuxedo and going off somewhere and flying the flag of the job that you did that year. And when we were hearing all the songs, for example, that Reverend Al Green has recorded, and I realized I knew almost all of them and could remember moments from listening to each one of them, of course, it puts it into perspective of a long series of decisions and jobs that you did. And you don't think about that when you're doing it. You're just following your instincts and going through. So to have a night like this where all my kids get together and my wife looks fantastic and everybody says nice things to me, I'll be a wreck come Tuesday. I'll be a blathering idiot. But for this weekend, I feel good. It's a lovely thing.
When I was 10 years old, the first time I ever heard your music was in Pulp Fiction, Let's Stay Together.
Pulp Fiction, yay!
Let me ask you about how that process worked. Did you work with Quentin? I know that song came out before Pulp Fiction, obviously, but did you work with Tarantino at all by getting that song in the movie? And what did you feel when you first heard it in the movie?
I felt real good about it, but they wanted to use the song, and I just signed the okay for them to use it. Yes, it was really a popular movie, and it was, really Travolta and all those. It was really wonderful. Yeah.
How has music changed since you first started and now? What do you love about current music, and how has it changed for you?
Now we can sing everything for everybody, and everybody all understands where you're coming from. Now we can sing all the music now, and that's what's so wonderful about it. I can sing Tired of Being Alone, which I'm doing tomorrow night on the Letterman show. So, we're going to just go with the flow now. It's wonderful now. There's not so much, you can't sing this, and you can't sing that, and you can sing this, and you can't. But now people are saying, how can you mend a broken heart?
Yeah. Now, the song, obviously, you've written some of the greatest songs in the history of music. Every Step You Take, Message in a Bottle are some of my favorite songs of all time. What do those songs mean today that differently than what they meant back then when you wrote them?
Well, it's my job every night to sing those songs I may have written 30 years ago with the same passion and the same enthusiasm as if I'd written them in the afternoon. And I always manage to find some little change, something I can just hang on to. This. Oh, that's different. A little increment of change. So it's like jazz, really. I'm not there to reproduce a record. I'm there to find something different in the song to keep it interesting for me.
So you'll be on stage singing Message in a Bottle, and a new meaning will come to you as you're singing.
Something will occur to me. A new harmony, a new way of singing the song, even change the melody, if I can. But, no one else would notice this, but it's just, it keeps me amused.
Right. Yeah. Now, out of all the highlights in your career, you've had so many highlights. I'm wondering where this stacks up, and if you can compare this element to maybe another highlight where you feel the same excitement.
It's pretty up there. I mean, I was honored by Her Majesty the Queen in England. She made me a commander of the British Empire. And the British Empire is only about this big at the moment. But so to receive this from the President of the United States is a massive honor. And it's not unique for an Englishman to get it, but it's rare. And so I appreciate that.
How has comedy changed since you first started? What are the differences and similarities you see in comedy today?
There's many more women doing comedy. Women who express a point of view, which women didn't do that often in the old days. They would talk about, they usually made themselves kind of the subject of the joke themselves. They were, perhaps they were overweight, or they couldn't get a man, or stuff like that, or they were flat-chested, or they'd play into every stereotype. In the intervening years, women have become more liberated, more conscious of having their own point of view told and expressed, and looking at the world truly through their own eyes.
Can you compare this moment to any other moments in your career where you had really high points? Like, can you think about the excitement you had at those moments compared to now?
Well, it's different because I'm at the end of my life, and
No, you're not. You look beautiful.
well, I could name so many wonderful highlights, but this is a biggie.
Yeah.
I'd say joining the New York City Ballet, becoming a professional dancer, marrying my handsome husband here,
Handsome dude, handsome guy.
giving birth to my children, retiring. This comes up there.
Can I ask you one nerdy question, because I'm a big geek about movies? How did the bullet deflecting work in the show when you did Wonder Woman? What was actually being like? Were things going off on your bracelets? How did you do that?
Well, you have to realize the time. This is the 70s, so the special effects, they didn't have those computerized things. So they had a little thing, and it had 3 buttons on it. And there would be squibs on the outside of the bracelets, which is why you always saw it going like this, and because if I did that, you'd see the little buttons I had to push.
Oh, cool. They just go off in your hand.
Yeah, so it would go, like a light, like a match.
Thank you for letting me nerd out with you. It was an absolute honor. Thank you so
I
much.
haven't been asked that question
Thank
before.
you very much.
Pretty good.
I want to ask you guys about September, one of the greatest songs ever written. I'm wondering what that song means differently today when you hear it or play it. I mean, is there a different meaning for it now than you played it back in the day?
Well, it's just become part of the world culture because we entertain it and play it everywhere we go, all over the Orient and Europe and every place. And it's just part of the melody of for a long time now.
But you should know that we do have a brand new CD out called Holiday, and we took September and changed it into December.
Right. That's right. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Put a different spin on it, and it's great.
How does December sound? I want to hear the December. What's the December version?
It's
It
great.
starts out with, "Do you remember?" That's all I'm going to give you.